Hey, look, guys, Jethro Tull. You know, Aqualung. It's an album I have. Ugh. Looks like a grand old party. Anyway, do you know who Jethro Tull is? Look at that. Isn't that interesting? You know? Little hints everywhere. Whatever, guys. Jethro Tull. Okay. Do you know that Jethro Tull is the inventor of the seed drill? Okay. Now, the seed drill is what basically gave humans back their time from in terms of planting, okay, harvesting crops. Okay, so the seed drill is an invention, a technology, which was used on commercial farming tractors now in order to automatically plant seeds into the earth. Okay, imagine back in the day if you had 100 acres of land and you had to plant corn manually by hand. And then imagine this guy with the tractor showed up and did the same job with a seed spreader. Now, how much time and how many hands would it take? It just takes one, right? The driver of the truck. You know, like that's what the... Where is it? Right here. Oh, story time. Keep saying that we're, just writing the Bible of our lives. Okay. The Grapes of Wrath. Okay, John Steinbeck. Centennial Collection. Born in 1902. Anyways, it's, turn of the century kind of book. If you read The Grapes of Wrath, okay, it talks about the death of the land and the death of the old way of life and the death of the farmers and the crops because the bankers and the companies and the corporations wanted to use the land, and they basically kicked all of the homesteads off their land because they'd come and plow over their houses and stuff, and because commercial farming started, and one guy on a tractor could work a lot of land, guys. So it made everyone's way of life obsolete, and they went in there and kicked them out, guys. Grapes of Wrath. I haven't read the whole thing because I don't like reading, but I mean, I started reading it. It was kind of interesting. So, yeah, Grapes of Wrath, guys. So, talking about inventions, guys. Yeah, okay, that one, that one could be realized. I'm gonna do my best, guys, to realize that. But, yeah, it's all about the plan of what to do after. So, I'd rather spend my time making videos, guys, about, here, this is what I'd rather be making my videos about, guys. Right here. Look at that. It's about a bunch of dried beans and chickpeas and lentils and rice and, imagine giant big burlap sacks of bags filled with this, okay? Imagine being able to get a property somewhere and, decided that you wanted to camp out in the spring, summer, fall kind of thing. And you had Home Depot show up with a tractor trailer load of lumber and stuff to make a Taurus shaped house. That, I don't know, housed 9. Okay, because why would you make a house that only housed one family when you can make something that could house 9? So if we make a Taurus with 9 sections of 9 bedrooms with an attached guest bedroom in each unit with space, like a dedicated workspace, like an empty room that they can do anything. Because everyone has hobbies, guys. You might be into recording music. You might be into, I don't know, fixing engines. You might be into art. You might be into writing. You might be into God knows what, okay? So you would have your own project space. You'd have your own living space. And you'd have living space for guests, okay? In the center of the torus of the building, I would make a, so I'd like to do 2 stories. So on the main floor, have the kitchen. It's a communal kitchen for all of the people that live in the torus. It's a big kitchen with lots of space, lots of refrigerators, deep freezers, everything, ovens, you name it's there. Bathroom is on the main floor, bathroom is on the upstairs floor, but on the upstairs floor would be the living room. I have a pool table, foosball table, record collection, TV, theater, whatever you want, chill space, bar, whatever. Place where you hang out. Okay, so you can get eight other like-minded individuals to venture in with you into, you know, the wilderness with tents and camping stuff, because you have to camp to survive as you're living there, creating this home, which you eventually move into. And then when you're eventually in the home, then you have to sustain your, you know, well-being and your welfare, because you're not going to be able to survive on burlap sacks of grains all your life. So you're going to have to basically the next year, you know, build a shop and build a greenhouse and build a barn, build a, you know, whatever else you need to do to make money with your hobbies. All right, and then eventually, you know, the next year passes, so now you're on year 3. Year 3 happens, and, you know, maybe you have a girlfriend or a wife, and you have a kid, and, you know, your little space now is becoming quite small, and maybe the house has become kind of a party house, and you want your own little thing or whatever. So you go, before you, like, decide to build a house, you know, a year before, you go out to the wilderness, and you cut down all these trees, and then you take a sawmill guy to come, and he sawmills up all your stuff, and puts them in, dries all the lumber in the shop space that you've already created, and then when the wood's dry, you have a bunch of lumber that you can go build houses with. You can make earth homes, you can make stick frame homes, you can make log cabins for all I care, you know, whatever, as long as you have an idea. What's the next thing after the idea? You want to make this type of house. Okay, what's the first step? Money, you know, materials, you know, a plan, tools, know-how, contractors, you name it, okay? Make it happen. So, you know what I'm saying, guys? I'd rather make videos on how to make like a meal plan, okay? That could be useful to others. Because the way I see it, the way I see my future working is that if I build this Taurus house, okay, and I move out of the Taurus house into an actual house that I build on the same property, just a little bit of ways away from the Taurus house, there is a room that goes up for rent. With Airbnb and everything, there's a source of income. Okay, passive income, guys. And what you could do with that room to rent is you could have people from all over the world come visit you. And they can come visit your shop and come visit and, you know, be part of your lifestyle of creating balance and maintaining balance to create abundance for all. And you show them everything you need to show them about the free energy device, about the mathematics, about the materials, about the scalability of it. And you show them with their own eyes that they can see and almost touch, you know, probably touch, but not while it's moving, what it needs to take to make free energy. And when they leave, after let's say a month or 2 of staying and chilling and, you know, partying or whatever you're doing, if you're building a road, they're going to help build you the road, because that's where you're going to be all day. And if they're hanging out, you know, you're in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by crown land, hopefully, you know, why not? Learn the skills, and then take those skills and take that knowledge that you've received from Canada back to your country and show others. And then take your friends and family and group of like-minded people and purchase your own land and do exactly the same but different kind of setup, you know what I'm saying? Wherever you are in the world, you can find an equilibrium. So I'd rather be making videos about stuff like that. About interesting stuff, like, you know, aquaponics and hydroponics and whatever, like kind of like small scale, high efficiency farming that you could do with limited space. You know, because we don't all have, you know, luxurious lifestyles, guys. Some of us only have what we have. But we can use what we have to create something bigger. Okay? And an idea is probably the best creation there can be, because it can be perceived many different ways. And an idea is basically a problem, and a problem can be solved many different ways. Okay? You can cut your grass and an infinite number of patterns. Not any one way of cutting your grass is right. Just like you can make a cabinet an infinite amount of ways. I'm not saying that any other way of making a cabinet is superior to any other way of making a cabinet. Sure, there are probably advantages, pros and cons to every design. But as long as you understand your design and you made a conscious decision with your free will to choose said pattern, you know, what does it matter if it wasn't done the way, whatever, the original plan was? Because I think nature has a way, okay, finds a way, and organic creation is the purest form of creation. And I'm chock full of that, man! So I don't read the news, guys. Like, I read the headlines, I could decode the headlines, because I think there's more knowledge in decoding the headlines than there is reading the article of bullshit. Okay, guys, I don't follow Kathleen Wynne. I don't follow the Ontario Hydro News, guys, because it'll only, like, boil my blood, guys. Okay? I try not to anger the bear. as much as I can. And that's how I deal with stress. Okay? I don't need a bunch of people being paid lots of money to collect our taxes and do nothing with when I know what I know. Or when I have a theory that I have. It's really hard for me to accept, to dedicate time of my life to reading an article of nonsense. I'd rather spend that time decoding the letters in the title to see what else they're saying. From a different point of view, because I'm pretty much in the n+2 kind of perspective of life. You know, n+3 if you account for the singularity, and the central source of all light, and heaven, which is a 42. Top and bottom square base pyramid. Okay guys, like, this model with this scale requires magnets in heaven, okay? I need 96 magnets in heaven to make these 6 wheels spin. And the diameter of those magnets needs to be 10 millimeters deep. 10 millimeters long, okay? But you know what? If I were to make free energy device at this scale, I would be literally taking Genesis 1 and making man, male and female, in our image because I used the appropriate scale of 1 to 60. However, the magnets that I have right here, these are actually 12 mil, right, a diameter, okay? 12 mil diameter. So if I were to create a free energy device, and it would be a little bit bigger than this one, okay, let's say, it would be scaled up a little bit more based on the magnets that I currently have. Use what you got, fencing is cheap. Therefore, I would be creating male and female life not in our image, and a scalable version of our image. So, you know, there's a lot of things that can be done playing with the numbers, and playing with the scale, and doing everything. I mean, at the end of the day, if you can just wire it up to an outlet that powers everything, who really cares, right? What size it is. Use what you got, and fencing is cheap. Okay? So, yeah, I'm ranting a lot today, and that's fun. You know, I don't know, I feel good. It's good. So yeah, it's almost the beginning of the new year, guys. The new year. You know, like April Fools, guys. You know, March. What's happening right now in the reality? It's March Madness. And March Madness, NCAA basketball happens every year around this time. Isn't that interesting? It's the only championship that happens in any sport, I think, around this time. It's like endings. I think there are only 4 teams left. Okay? Beginning of the new year is on March 20th this year. Okay, that's the spring equinox. So it's the rebirth. It's when all the snow melts. It should start soon. We can start prepping the land for the new season, okay? That's what we tell. Plant your seeds. Okay? Work smarter, not harder. But at the same time, we shouldn't be destroying the lifestyles that others have created, where they had their own version of balance. Okay, that's wrong. But that's the past. We have to learn from the past. Make sure that the history does not repeat itself. So, like, it's cool. I think I'm going to rearrange my house a little today because I got a whiteboard. I got a pretty decent whiteboard. You know? That's like, it's even magnetized so I can put, like, metal. So, like, magnets will go to it. It's a nice one. So, I don't know, I'd like to set that up somewhere, you know, be able to just explain stuff or whatever. But I'm pretty much done explaining stuff. I don't know. Like, I shouldn't say that, but, you know. It's a new paradigm. I'd rather be using my easel, okay, to draw up diagrams of, like, the barn I want to build, or the greenhouse I want to operate out of, or the house I want to build, the Taurus-shaped house. Because I'm pretty sure there aren't plans for a Taurus-shaped house yet. By Taurus, I just mean a 2-story. Yeah, I would do some kind of sided, you know, like, you know, more than 9-sided, maybe like 18-sided shape. Domicile, let's call it, okay? Anyways, we can all have our own doors, we can have a common door, whatever. I think it'd be neat. I think it would be a good sustainable lifestyle. A very interesting one. We meet worldly people and travelers, which will enrich the experience of you and of everyone else who is taking part in your reality. It's a pretty interesting way to raise kids, guys. It takes a village, you know? So yeah. Everyone have a blessed day. Cheers, guys.